Stop share. All right. Tell me that worked. We gonna believe that worked?
Hey. Red dot is yeah, I do. It's like a red blinking dot so that can be recorded.
Yeah. Oh, you know what? Awesome. Let's go with that. I like that. Okay, so again, this is going to be a fun semester. It's going to go super fast. And for those of y'all that are getting like the double dip of Amy McKay, good for y'all. It's going to be awesome. Okay. Come on in. I was talking about you, Kiana. I was like, where is she? Okay, so for everyone joining, whether you're joining from out of the room or in the room, we want you to know that 1:15 new start time. So you got it? So I can really get that workout in because that's important to me. And I hope your workout is important to you as well. So as we get rolling, some of y'all from the first class and some of y'all from previous classes are already going to know the answer to a lot of these questions. I'm going to test you, Eric, and see where you are with things. Okay, Aaron? Malik, okay? Aaron, I'm here. Got my Aaron's here. All right. Hey, what is today? Best day ever. And I've had some of y'all in class before. If I haven't had Sarah and Jamie. I like to think that every single day can be the best day ever. You get to wake up happy or you get to wake up mad. And it takes the same amount of energy every single day. So think about waking up happy. And I also think that there's a special way that you can wake up every single day. Do you know them, Kiana? Yes. Okay. What is it? One alarm, 2 feet on the ground, express gratitude, 4 quarts of water, and make your bed. If you will start your day with that every single day, that will be at least a big cue for you to kind of get some things going, starting your day with a win. Okay? So for those of you that don't know, Sarah and Jamie really are only ones that have never seen it before. Okay? It's show me with your hands. One alarm, show me. 2 feet on the ground. It's like you're scoring 2 points. One alarm, 2 feet, express gratitude. And I like to tell people that my gratitude is attached to my faith. And so that's where that moves in my world. So find something to be thankful for, even if it's just the fact that you made it through the night. Okay? 4, you guys, water is critical to our success. Y'all are going to see me drinking lots of water, both in the morning class and in the afternoon class. Our bodies are over 70% water, and most of us are walking around dehydrated. Have y'all ever seen those little capsules that are all sponges that you put in water and all of a sudden they grow into little shapes and stuff? That's what we are, and we need to be hydrated. So I want everyone to be sure and bring their water bottle to class. Drink your water during class. All of these things going fast and furious with that. So drink your water. And again, when I ask a question, that's a cue for you to think, and it's also a cue for me to stop and get a drink. It's interesting, about 2 years ago, I actually had an injury to my vocal cords. Your vocal cords are just part of your body, and I have to be real careful that I keep my vocal cords wet and lubricated and all that, because we've got a lot of talking to do in the next 4 weeks as we move together through this experience. So now, what I'm gonna let you know is, we are going to actually, by tomorrow, we're going to flip this classroom around. So the Zoom will be facing the middle of the room, so it will be more like they are in the middle of the classroom instead of on the side of the classroom. We will be utilizing that board behind us. So whenever we get here tomorrow, 7:10 or so, 1:10 or so, we will kind of create our new space as we move together. I meant to take care of that earlier, but I decided to work out and make that happen. I hope you're making time for your workout as well. Other housekeeping stuff. So glad you're here. I believe that you are fundamentally smart people because you have made some smart decisions in your life to get you here. So I'm going to ask you that question a lot of times. I'm going to say, what kind of people are you? And you're going to say, smart people. What kind of people are you? Smart people. What kind of people are you? Smart people. Excellent. Hey, Erica's here. Hey, Erica. You jumped in. Good to see you here. I was wondering where you were. So, hey, just to remember, you just jumped on. Remember, we hear everything, the breathing and everything you have going on. So keep yourself muted unless you need to unmute and say, hey, Miss McKay, I have a question. Awesome.
Okay.
Okay. So one of the things to think about as we move forward on this adventure is you are going to need your book for this class. This is, do you have your book with you, Kiana, by chance? Not today. Does anyone have, there we go. Jasmine has her book. And did everyone get the copy of the syllabus that I emailed to you? This is what your book looks like. So you're definitely going to need this as we move together. This is your roadmap. And let me tell you what my job is. You take care of your roadmap, and I'm going to help you along the way at different roadside stations and kind of help you put that entire map together as we do that. So get your book today because you're going to need it tomorrow. And speaking of tomorrow, I am in charge of hosting Blue Cross Blue Shield on campus tomorrow. They come to do our annual evaluations for the wellness program. I said 1:15 start. Let's really shoot for like a 1:30 start tomorrow because my time with them might go a little bit longer. So everyone on the Zoom, we're going to launch at a 1:30 start without a doubt tomorrow. That way I'm not swinging in late and I have to miss my workout tomorrow, I think, because of all that. I'll try to get it all snuck in. But we are going to start today in chapter 8. And so since you don't have your book, let me tell you what I would do to ensure you're successful as this class begins to move forward. I'm going to throw out some keywords, and then we're going to talk about those keywords. And then also, when you get your book and you go back, then you can put those pinpoints on your map. Now, one of the things that I will remind you, and I hope that we are recording, I will be uploading these to my YouTube channel so you can see them again, which kind of is a nice thing. I know I had some students in previous semesters kind of just really be and listen when they were in class and take a few notes, and then when they listened again on the different YouTube channels, they made that happen. My YouTube channel is Amy Fitchick, AMYFITCHICK, AMYFITCHICK, Amy Fitchick. That's my YouTube channel. And the funny thing is, a lot of what we're going to be talking about, a lot of those old videos are already out there. The cool thing is that I'm posting with these are new, they're almost in new real time and all that, and then you can start and stop. It would be more fun to have more people in the room all the time, but if Zooming occasionally works for you, just let me know. Everyone did get the links, didn't you, if you weren't going to be able to be here. So I love having people in the room. There might be a time that I come in here and record a private Zoom and turn it into YouTube and then send you the link as well. I am not a huge fan of Blackboard, and that's just me. And since I've never used Blackboard a whole bunch, we're getting rid of Blackboard and starting with a new program called Canvas starting in the fall. So my intentions were to not spend a lot of energy mastering Blackboard whenever we can communicate via email. And then, did everyone sign up for the text message feed to get in the McKay text messages? It's a different code. So let me give you that code if you have not gotten in that. Did all of y'all get in the text message feed? Okay, I'll give you that text message feed so that we can stay connected. I'm going to be sending you all kinds of crazy motivational stuff and making all these neat things happen. So the code number for the summer theory class. So you'll send a blank text message to 81010, 81010. And the code for that is at theory, T-H-E.
You read it the same line as the 81010?
No, down in the message. Down in the message. So it's at theory, T-H-E-O-R-Y-S-U. And then send that bad boy. And again, we know it might not go very well from in here, but as soon as you all walk out of the room, it'll send that message to me. I'll send a reply with your name. And then again, like I said in the email, this is not one giant group me. This is directly to me. You can definitely text me through that app number. if you'll notice on your syllabus, all of my information is on the syllabus. So you can find me, my office is in that office suite right over there. I do have a morning class as well as this, and then I'm going to try to get my workout in. So if you kind of want to visit with me a little bit, visiting after class would probably be the best time. Ooh, y'all are joining. It's happening. So all those things they're going through. So I say that your presence is really expected in this class. Again, we're doing this via the Zooms and we're doing them recorded. I know that there are 2 people taking it that cannot be here or cannot Zoom live, that they will be watching the recorded versions as well. So that's okay. It's what we're going to make work for the summertime. We're going to have 3 major test grades in here. They'll probably end up being about over 3 chapters each. We'll probably end up covering 8 to 9 chapters in this 4-week period. If I were you, I would plan on, and Kiana, you can maybe help me with this. I would plan on an hour or so in the evening studying, because the way this is set up, we're going to move fast, friends. We're going to move fast. I do want you to know, I do love for you to ask questions. I love for this to be as interactive as possible. The more you talk, the better questions you ask. I am even one of those teachers that loves it when we go down a rabbit hole. If we go down a rabbit hole and we end up learning something great about each other or a question that you might have, that's still learning. And learning outside of the book is just as important as learning inside the book. So do y'all have any questions? Anybody on Zoom? You can unmute, ask any questions anytime. Yes, no? Everybody's in? All right. So let me, okay.
Is the test going to be the same as they were?
It's going to be a little different.
A little different, but like the same format?
I'm still figuring that out. And that might be where we utilize Blackboard, is through testing.
Okay.
So I've gotten in touch with, because I want the same format. I'm just trying to figure out how to make that happen.
That's going to cry even more. Okay.
Oh, it'll be awesome. Don't cry. Okay. Don't cry. It'll be great. I promise it will be great. So typically the tests are about 100 questions, fill in the blank. I'm yeah.
150 plus.
100 and what plus?
150 plus.
Wait, fill in the blank? Wait,
Yeah.
each test?
Yeah.
Ooh,
Eric,
is it like a word?
Eric, what, Eric?
Is it like a word bank or anything?
Eric, what kind of person are you?
No.
Great.
Eric?
Smart. It's not a word bank?
No.
Malik, what kind of person are you? What kind of person are you? What kind of person are you?
Smart.
Okay, so that being said, okay, we are going to make this work without a doubt, okay? We're going to work through it together. I promise the outcomes will be fabulous. We'll walk away with some knowledge, we'll walk away with it for some fun, and we'll end up moving through all this together. Exactly like yours. Yeah, that's why I'm having to do this on the fly. Okay, this is, you guys, I think every now and then, in an effort to grow, you got to do stuff that's a little uncomfortable. And I'm the first one to say, I'm a little uncomfortable with this. Okay, I have made videos, short videos before, and you can see those. But having someone here, I'm trying to make it to where they have that sort of live experience. And then whenever you're watching the videos, I want you to feel like you're just hanging out in the classroom with me. I've had some people say that when they watch the videos, they find themselves, when I ask, what kind of people are you? They're talking out loud. They say, smart people. And then whenever I say, what is today? What do you say? Best day ever. Okay. Hey, what's one? One arm, 2 feet, gratitude. Did you know that people that express gratitude on a daily basis are healthier overall, mentally, physically, emotionally, socially, and spiritually? And if we can simply do that one thing, and I meant to do this morning in class and I forgot about it. Hey, you all have your phones out right now. Get your phone out and send a gratitude text to someone that has gotten you to this point right now. Someone that has loved you when you were a jerk, someone that has loved you when you might not have been that nice, someone that just lets you be who you are with all that, but still just says, you know what, it's going to be okay. So I'm going to send my text. Who should I send my text to? He's in New York.
Still?
And will be for the next 4 years.
Oh, okay. I thought you would be for the summer release. Or you just think it's summer?
No summer.
No.
Sorry, no summer.
Oh.
No summer.
Y'all got a lot to learn about my kiddo. My kiddos. Did we get a message to go out of here?
No.
No. Have y'all ever seen people, and it's so funny because I was laughing at someone.
Thanks.
Did anybody get the message? Thank you for going on this journey with me. So I appreciate all of you so much. Again, be willing to laugh with me, be willing to ask questions, be willing to do all of those fun things. So again, the way I had this set up is I do have it set up for an intermission. And the reason that I did it that way is whenever I upload these videos to YouTube, they upload more efficiently they really do best in shorter segments than we're doing. But that way, and that's good for us to take a little break and regroup and move around. We'll disconnect that Zoom and then y'all can chime back in. Does that work for everybody? Awesome. Okay, so as interesting as this sounds, and those of y'all that know me, y'all know that I'm pretty weird. And why in the world would I start at the beginning of class on chapter 1? Because that would just be way too normal. I'm starting us off on chapter 8. So you want to write that down so that you can start to jump in with all of those things. And in chapter 8 is all on the psychology of athleticism. Now here's what I like to say. I like to say that before you can get in someone's glutes, in their quads, in their chest, you have to get in people's head and heart. We find that great coaches and great teachers have a way of allowing people to actually communicate with them, trust them. You guys, trust is one of the most important things between a coach and an athlete. And so as we learn the mind of the athlete, we start to see how important it is to say that there is some validity to knowing the athlete. Yes or no? Yes? How important is it for your coach? Tell me, share with us some terrible coaching experiences that you've been in. Come on, open up. Terrible experiences. Hey, remind everyone your name. This is
I'm
Jamie. Yeah, say hi, Jamie. Okay.
Hello. I have the worst coach just because he always cussed at us and hit us. Like, he would be like, slapping us and slapping us and stuff like that. It was terrible.
So what was your level of trust for that coach?
I didn't trust him.
Didn't trust him at all. Did you feel like following him?
No.
So you only did what he said because you felt like you had to, not because there was any internal drive to do that. So the next question, do you feel like you performed your best with that coach? No.
No. I just performed out of fear.
We're going to talk about that. That's the first thing we talk about is ideal performance state. And you guys, an athlete cannot perform their best when they're in a constant state of fear. Fear is something in us that actually sometimes inhibits us from being our absolute best. Now, when we take that same level of anxiety and we learn how to repackage it, we can then have it help us be better. Kiana, what was a terrible experience? Was there one, or did you always have fabulous coaches?
One was when I was 12, a coach said I would never make it to play like college softball.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was sure nice to hear that when you were 12,
Yeah.
wasn't it? How many of you are vastly a different person than you are now when you were 12? Yes or no? You are too. Eric, any bad coaching experiences?
Yeah, one little coach I had in high school before like my coach changed.
And what was it?
Like he didn't know how to like I guess use his players, you know. Like
Okay.
he had so much talent, but like he didn't know like where to put them, you know. He could put like where he thinks they could.
Okay. Not awesome, huh? Not awesome. Aaron, what you got?
When I was in middle school, I like broke one of my foot bones. I don't know what they're called, but
You will soon.
yeah. And he still made me keep playing. So
Okay. So that whole thing about more is not always better.
yeah.
So Bailey.
I've just had like high school coaches that were just like not the greatest role models of like the things that we did outside of school and stuff that they would like share with us. So
It's awesome.
yeah,
Okay. And now say that again. What did they do?
they were just like not the best role models.
Oh, so is it important for a coach to be a role model? Yes or no? Yes. How hard was it for someone to say, do what I say, not as I do? Is that the best coaching experience ever? No. Okay, Malik, what was that experience for you?
Kind of the same with Eric. In high school, I played both sides of the ball, but my junior year, I played offense more than defense. Then I went into my senior year. I made the decision myself to just stick on defense. They wasn't using me enough on offense. I was just on offense.
So they weren't using you to your best of your ability.
Right.
Okay. Awesome. Jasmine, anything with coaching? Anything with weird psychological stuff with coaches?
Probably from third to fifth grade, I lived in Germany and I did gymnastics. And fifth grade, I broke my foot and they still wanted me to do it. So that was hard.
Okay.
Really strict with that.
Psychologically not well. Aaron.
They kind of already said it twice, but in our coaches in high school, a lot of people would get injured and they would just make them keep playing.
Okay. And Sarah.
Well, I ran track, and this was actually when I was in 10th grade, so I was 13.
Oh yeah.
I wanted to do something different, not sprint. I wanted to try hurdles, and after the first practice, my coach told me I was not going to amount to it. So I made sure that I was, after practice, I stayed out on the track, and I proved that coach wrong. That's exactly what I did.
I love that. I love that. So I guess another question that I would have, it's kind of funny, they're probably going to get, are y'all getting seasick watching the room pan? All right, Annie, you want to say anything?
I think just like before having like a coach, not really feel as though I've been given like an opportunity to, you know, maybe show my skill before. So.
Awesome. Shelby, anything that was terrible psychologically for you?
Actually, my senior year in high school, I had a coach who had a lot of favoritism, and she was super strict on everybody for everything. And so, like, most of our practices were spent just conditioning, and like there was 2 or 3 girls on the team that could do no wrong, and then she would put everybody else down for doing things that weren't nearly as worse as what they were doing.
So again, that trust factor. Marcos, anything that you want to add about experiences psychologically?
My senior year in track, our distance runners, our coach that we got stuck with didn't really care for the distance. He just had us run like a mile, like half a mile of practice, and that was it.
And that made really great performance, didn't it?
Oh yeah, totally.
Erica, anything?
The same thing. I had a coach that just had favoritisms. It just ruined everybody else.
All right. Hey, thanks for sharing. Hey, what we need to remember is look at the things that y'all just said about people that have been in your life that have had the opportunity to be influential in your world and they messed it up. It's really a sad thing, which is why we have to talk about these things. Because you guys, by the time we get to Friday and we're talking about ATP and phosphagen and all of these fueling mechanisms, again, if you are not in the right place in your head and in your heart, it doesn't matter what energy system. It doesn't matter that you can or can't hurdle. It doesn't matter unless we love people. We need to understand that we are in a profession of serving other people. And if you do not have that servant heart about loving people, loving kids, helping athletes, then you're in the wrong profession. So remind yourself of that. It's all about helping others to be their absolute best through the knowledge and skills that you gain. Which there's another thing that I want y'all to remind yourself. What kind of people are you? Smart people. And then I always like to ask, why are we here? And so many times we say, oh, well, theory of strength and conditioning was on my degree plan. Well, you know what? Yes, it was, but there's a bigger reason why we're here. And the answer is, I'll say, why are we here? And you will say, to get the tools to build fearless champions. Okay? So if I say, why, God bless you. If we say, why are we here? You say, to get the tools to build fearless champions. Why are we here? Why are we here? Why are we here? What kind of people are we? Smart people. Okay, here's the next thing. Smart people make smart decisions. Smart people make smart decisions. Okay, and you guys, there are a million different decisions that you can make every day. And it's my hope and my prayer that the next time you're in one of those, I can't decide, that you remember that you have been instilled that you are a smart person. So step back, take a breath, believe in yourself, and take that next best right step. Okay? So again, as we jump in to chapter 8, again, chapter 8 starts on page 155 in your book. So again, you might want to be running just kind of an outline today of some things where you can go back and check on some of these interesting things. So the first thing that we really talk about is, can athletic performance be changed through the power of the mind? Yes or no? Yes. Yes, it absolutely can. If you think more positive thoughts, will more positive things come your way? Yes or no? Yes, research has proven that if you will open your eyes and you will open your heart to the positive things around you, you become aware of your environment. It can change your athletic performance. It can change your nutrition habits. It can start to change things for you if you really start to think good things.
Oh my God, that's the worst. Really?
Let me tell you, two things.
What about recovery gear?
No. Diet, this is a rabbit, I love it. Okay, so here's the thing. Okay, it is, okay, so go back to the question from this morning. We're gonna see if Eric, because Eric's in both classes. Okay, what's the #1 disease in America?
Heart disease, right?
Heart disease. What's the #1 risk factor for getting heart disease? Diabetes. What's the #1 ethnic population that gets diabetes? African Americans. Okay. Tell it like it is. Okay. So you just had your Harbo gummy bears.
When we was young, playing sports, they give like Gatorade and stuff like that.
You know what you need?
Those electrolytes.
Water. Okay. Now, if you're someone who's hooked on the G series, or if you're hooked on Powerade and you're really wanting to think about going with a G2 or a Powerade Zero or something like that, but only because you might need electrolytes. Okay? And that is only after you have been doing intense exercise. 9 times out of 10, you can have all the electrolytes you need from the food that you eat. I am an advocate of eating real food. Eat real food. So what's interesting is you hammered down those gummy bears, okay? Then you're washing it down with the Gatorade. Okay, so what Eric just did is he is sending his pancreas into freak out mode. His pancreas is saying, I gotta pump out so much insulin right now, or he's going to end up diabetic, losing his fingers, losing his toes. Okay, okay. So, you know, you can at least maybe drink half of it and dilute it with some water after that from now on. Find ways to get less sugar in your diet. You're going to hear this in the morning and the afternoon. Eric's going to be, boy, Miss McKay's preaching. Oh, and I am, because I don't want people to have diabetes. And you guys, it's the #1 disease epidemic in our world right now. Diabetes is. And if we can reduce diabetes, we can reduce heart disease. And we have to realize that. Which, here's another question. If we think about psychological changes, not only as it relates to athleticism, shouldn't we be able to think about helping other people with behavior modifications through communicating positive influences on them? Okay, I'm going to give you a hard time about some of it, but all of it's out of love. And all of it's out of inspiration and motivation. Okay, that's a good question. You guys, is change hard or is change easy? Change is hard. There's 2 reasons that people change. Does anyone remember what those 2 reasons are? Probably don't know them yet. Okay, people change because they're either inspired to change or they're desperate to change. Either inspiration or desperation. What our jobs need to be, we need to be people that inspire people to change, for healthier lifestyles, to be stronger, to increase their athletic performance, to do all of these things that we're responsible for doing in our profession. Look at all the people that did not take responsibility, people that were your coaches that did not take this responsibility seriously. So we need to remember that as we continue to move forward, because we know, you guys, that on psychological efficacy, how you think changes how you feel. You can perform better, so remember that. Okay, on the right-hand column of page 156, you guys, this is where we talk about sports psychology. Now, we have an entire class in the Kines department that's on sports psychology, but what we see is sports psychology does some interesting things for us. It allows us to measure this phenomenon. You guys, there have been researchers in our field that have taken athletes and have taken people and exposed them to positive psychological coaching, and then they have exposed them to negative psychological coaching. And we can actually see high jump numbers go up. We can see vertical jump going up. We can actually see the body responding to what the brain is thinking. Your brain is your most powerful tool. And if we're not using that, we're missing out on harnessing this energy that our body has. Okay? Sports psychology lets us investigate that relationship about the connection between. And then you know what it does? It allows us a roadmap to create better for the athletes and the people that we have an opportunity to train. What was the key word that I just said there? Opportunity. What's the word? Opportunity. Say it. Okay, you guys, you have an opportunity and an obligation to take care of the people that you are coaching, teaching, training. Take it seriously every single day. Now, who was it that was talking about fear? Remind me. It was Jamie talking about fear. Now, here's what we know. Whenever we have an athlete, and we're talking on 156, we're talking about this thing called the ideal performance state. If we can get an athlete into this ideal performance state, we know that their performance can be better. Now, you want to know what's interesting? It's interesting that so many of these bad coaches that we talked about 15 minutes ago, they were trying to keep their jobs, I would like to think. Yes, because coaching is a job, but we also know that coaches that don't tap into these things end up losing their job. And the interesting thing is they think that it's the athlete's fault, not their fault. So we see coaches that have a 1-year kind of turnover rate. There tends to be a trend. Maybe the problem is not the athlete. The problem is actually the coach. Okay, so here's where we see a few of these characteristics. You guys, we want people to have an absence of fear. Even if you fail, don't be scared. Don't be scared, okay? Be willing to try some things. Have that absence of fear, even if there is failure, okay? We don't want our athletes over-analyzing things. We want them to feel checked in. We want them to feel like they trust the training protocol that we built for them. We want them to have a narrow focus of attention, okay? You guys, think about a basketball game, okay? And think about all of a sudden you're at the state championship game and there's a kid shooting free throws, and behind the backboard, there's all those little squiggly wiggly things. Yes or no? And all of a sudden, is the crowd quiet or is the crowd screaming? What are they doing? Scream right now, go. That would not make me mess up my free throw. What would that crowd sound like? Okay, show me with your arms. Okay, so what we know is that we want our athletes to be so checked in that all of that screaming and all of that wiggling has no effect on their performance. It's a beautiful thing. We want it to be a sense of effortlessness. Like they have trained, think about a triple jumper. Is a triple jump a complex motor skill? Yes or no? Yes or no? Yes, it is. But what if you have an athlete that has been so perfectly physically trained, but they trust the coaching that you have given them, those verbal cues, that hitting that mark, that hop, that skip, that jump, that fly. What if they all of a sudden, in that moment, what if it just felt effortless because they had been so well trained, both mentally and physically? That's how state champions are made. That's how incredible athletes are made. It's the combination of these two things. You guys, the ideal performance state is also about a sense of personal control. Now, did y'all ever see the movie Chicken Little? Yes or no? What did Chicken Little run around screaming? The sky is falling, the sky is falling. Okay, has anyone ever been around anyone that has zero sense of personal control? Yes or no? Yeah. Is it a joy or a beatdown to be around people like that? Tell the truth. Sometimes? Okay.
So it depends where you at.
Exactly. Most of the time, it's like, quit with the drama. You're fine. You're not bleeding to death. You have a splinter. You're going to be fine. So we want our athletes to really, really, really have this sense of personal control. Okay? Keep it together. Keep it together. Because think about an athlete. Think about life in terms of energy. Do you remember I said you can spend the same amount of energy being glad or being mad? If we have an athlete that is about to go into this high performance state, what we're going to understand is that if they are using energy in panic mode, can they use or are they tapping into those energy reserves that they have for performance? Yes or no? We want the energy to be used on that athletic performance. Okay? And then here's what's awesome. They have this distortion of time and space. You guys, on the next page, it talks about Kobe Bryant, and Kobe says it's this supreme confidence where all of a sudden it doesn't matter the time on the clock, it doesn't matter, you're just checked in. Okay? And that's going to be one of those questions that I ask you, and we're going to start this. Okay? And repeat after me. Hey, Miss McKay, I am checked in. And show me with your arm. I am checked in. Okay, Jasmine, checked in. We're watching, y'all. Checked in. Erica's checked in. Awesome. So we see these things happening. We want our athletes to be 100% present when we have that going on. So again, when you read your book and you guys think about some things, these things all go together. And whenever y'all ever heard anyone say, hey, quiet your mind, quiet your mind, quiet your mind. Focus on what's important. Be there at the right time. So whenever you do take your test that you're going to do awesome on, be checked in. Be in a space that you can jump in and take your test. Have a sense of effortlessness. Have an absence of fear. Know that you have done the training. And one of the things I like to think of is, this is going to be weird, so listen to me. I don't want you to study for this class. I want you to train for this class. So when you sit down to study, I want you to think that you're going into a training session. Okay? And here's the thing. You and I both know when we have those killer workouts in the gym, those aren't the ones where we're checking our text 78 times and we're all of a sudden hanging out at the water fountain. When we have those fabulous workouts and those fabulous times, it's because we've given 100% of our effort to that training session. So whenever you jump into a training session, mentally tell yourself that, because you guys, many times we have a negative connotation about sitting down and studying, okay? Think about this as training for this class. That's all you're doing is training. Okay, so we're gonna take a pause. We're gonna stand up and move around. Y'all stand up and move around. I'm gonna kill this Zoom link and we'll open up the next Zoom link, okay? All right, see y'all in a minute. Okay, y'all stand up and move